Today we're outside because last night I kept thinking about a video idea and I couldn't sleep. So today I'm going to be filming that video idea, and that requires us to be in the great outdoors. Wow. Hopefully I'm in the frame because the camera is sitting on a grill right now, because I still need to get a new tripod. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about some plants and how to draw them and how to make them look cool and stylized.
So the first thing you're going to want to do is take pictures. Go and find any plants that you can and take as many pictures as you can from any angle that you might need for drawing them. Take pictures of weeds, flowers, potted plants, decorative plants, any plants that you can find. If you can't find plants around your neighborhood or in your yard, you can always search Google Images for pictures, but they might not be exactly what you're looking for. Pick a few leaves to study if you own the plant. Look at it from all angles. Smell the plant. Taste the plant. Now that you've got a significant amount of reference images, it's time to talk about what we're going to use to actually draw the plants. I like to use 3 different shapes, but you can really use any kind of shape that suits your style. The first of the 3 shapes I like to use I call leaves, which is basically just a dash done with pressure sensitivity that's either thick, thin, or very thick, and depending on the way you use this, you can use it for grass, little clumps of leaves, larger, fancier leaves, and some sort of weird stocky looking leaves. It's a pretty versatile shape to use for drawing plants, as it occurs quite a lot in plant design. Ovals are also a really good shape to use. They're a little bit more fiddly than the leaves shape or the teardrops, but they do come in handy. You can use them for clumps of flowers, clovers, and even berries. The last shape I like to use is the teardrop shape, which can be used to make clumps of moss, flowers, and other little decorative leaves. The first thing that you're going to want to do when you bring your reference images into your drawing program is trace over the plants that you've taken photos of and break down the shapes into smaller shapes. You can see I'm doing this here with these succulents. The next thing you're going to want to do is comprise sort of a color palette of all the colors that you can see that occur in the plant, and then do some studies to understand the shape and the form of it. And then finally you can take all of the things that you've learned from it and do the stylized version of the plant. And don't worry about making it perfect. Plants aren't usually the focal point of a drawing, so they don't have to be the most detailed or exact. And it's good to do this with a variety of pictures that you've taken. You can do as many or as few studies as you want, as long as you get to a point where you like how the plants are turning out. The rose here was a little bit tricky because I didn't get a picture of a very good looking rose. Its shapes were a little bit disorganized, but that's okay. You can always take more pictures of stuff in the future. Another thing to keep in mind when drawing stylized plants is to add depth to the image in the form of shadows or fades. You can see that the shape on the left is a lot more flat and undetailed versus the shape on the right, which actually has a lot of depth going on to it, even though it's a pretty simple shape. Another good thing to add into your plants is color variation. Plants tend to change color the older the leaves are and the newer they are, so at the tips usually colors are lighter or brighter, and the bases of plants are usually a bit more dark. You can also add details to each leaf to make it look a little bit more intricate than what it was originally. And the last thing to keep in mind is really just to practice and do more practice. Study as many different plants as you can find, study aquatic plants, weeds, just anything really, and try breaking them down and using simpler shapes to define them. The more plants you draw, the more comfortable you'll get with their shapes, and the more you'll be able to use them in your illustrations. I hope this video helped you out when it comes to drawing and stylizing plants. Thanks for watching. Bye!